Hello, hello, wherever you are. You're watching yet another CDC Watchalong for the Women's T20 League. Of course, it's going to be the UP Warriors going to be defending 160 Akash. I have with me you, and I just don't know, I'm messing up my words, honestly. It's just been shocking because I have my eyes on the TV, which is not the WPL right now. It's the Premier League, and I'm just nervous as we speak. But hello, Akash, how are you?
I'm good. At one point I actually thought it was Australia versus India because of Talia Migra and Alisa Hilly just
Oh, yeah.
donking the ball.
I mean, it's quite crazy. What we've seen happen is 159 for 6, of course. UP Warriors winning the toss, batting first. And it was a good sort of display of batting, especially from Elisa Healy and Talia McGrath before the inevitable bowler for Mumbai striking, of course, Saika Shah. A word in her first and foremost because she went for runs in a second over, I think 4 fours.
Yeah.
But she came back. Overall, how would you sum up her night?
I think it was a good learning curve because nobody has actually challenged her in this tournament.
Yeah.
And when Alisa Hilly actually took her down, it actually felt like this is a proper test for her. And this is at the top level, you're going to find batters like Alisa Hilly,
Oh, 100%.
more or less.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's the highest range you'll find.
Yeah.
So if you can bowl well against the likes of her, then it's going to be much easy for you in your international career. So it's a very, very good learning curve, and that actually says that she's not afraid to bowl against such top quality batters.
Yeah, and again, it's that same old breed of left arm spin, which is kind of thriving in the women's game right now. Let's see what Mohit had to make of this first innings. Mohit Shah, of course, been joining us for the last two watch-alongs. We can get him on as well. There he is, much more brighter and fresher today. Mohit, how are we this evening? And what have you made so far of 160? Because Harmanpreet at the toss said she'd like to chase 160. She's got it. Can they make it, what, 4 and 4?
Yeah, I think they definitely can because for a long time in the UP innings, it looked like they'll get something in excess of 175, maybe even 180. But that over from Saika Ishak, where she dismissed both Talia Magra and Alisa Healy, who were well set in the space of just 3 balls, like completely turned the match around. And I don't think 159 is going to be enough against this Mumbai lineup because they bat very deep and the pitch hasn't had any demons as such. It obviously hasn't been as flat as some of the other pitches at the CCI, but I think as good as UP's attack is, unless they pick 3 wickets in the power play, I don't see Mumbai not chasing this down.
Okay, let's see how they go about their business. Remember, it's going to be Haley Matthews, Anya Sigvatia, and Rajeshwari Gaikwad's already bowled 2 balls in this over. So sink your
And
schemes
conceded
in
a 4.
accordingly and conceded a 4 as well in the typical UP Patanjali jersey. We're not mentioning brands, but look, just had to throw that in there. Yasika Bhatia, of course, just getting back into form, but Haley Matthews is the one that I want to watch right now because, look, she's going to give Meg Lanning a race for that orange cap. So let's see how that unfolds. Now, you mentioned wickets in the power play, and Mumbai really haven't chased anything threatening, Akash. Do you think 160 is a good test for them, or do you think that's not competitive on this surface?
It is probably, as Mohit said, like 10, maybe 15 runs. 10 runs, I think, short.
Yeah.
15 might be a stretch, but considering the bowling attack they have, this is probably the only team that can actually challenge this Mumbai setup. And you have, just take out all the bowlers, right? Deepti Sharma is there, Rajeshwari Gaikwad is there. And once you think that, okay, this 8 overs of spin or 7 overs of spin, you're done. And then comes Sophie Eccleston. So it's like too much of quality, and it's all about execution for them. If they can strike early,
Yeah.
that's something that Mumbai have. Throughout the tournament they've got good starts, so that's something they would want to do. Just strike early, probably even get Eccleston as early as possible, and try to pick a wicket in the first over.
How would you kind of go about bowling or setting a field for Haley Matthews, or is there any particular match? If you mentioned Eccleston right now, is it worth the gamble, 1 over at Haley?
See, the options they have, they can either go to Anjali Savani or, Eccleston. And Eccleston is miles ahead of somebody like Anjali Savani. So
Yeah.
maybe just try it up, just use her experience. She can float one and she can even toss one and then just try. Or, for this tournament, for this match, there's also Shabnam Ismail. But again, Haley Matthews might like pace. and the pitch has kind of not been very, how do you call it? Like it's very easy to play pace at this
Yeah, it's a
wicket.
little
So
conducive for pace, I would say. And look, there's also Deepti Sharma, so who knows who UP are going to throw onto the table. We have Crick Crazy Nix, who is, of course, a UP fan, joining us right now. Welcome back to the Watch Along space. We missed you for 3 days, Nix. How are we
Yep.
this evening? Are you comfortable as a UP fan defending 160? Because 138 with 15 overs, and Mohit touched upon it. That was a critical phase where two fell in that over and two big wickets of Talia McGrath and Elisa Healy. Was that the game changing over so far?
Yeah, of course. And who better to do it than Saika Ishak? I mean, she's been the
Yeah.
standout bowler. And it just showed why you need to have such options because I definitely think they were like 20, 30 shot given the way they batted. With no Grace Harris, I felt Alisa was much more restrained. You usually don't see her not hitting boundaries after the power play. I think she took like 4 or 5 overs to hit one boundary after the power play. So it just tells you that she took it up to herself that I know there is no Grace Harris to apply the finishing touches. I need to be there towards the end. And the review as well, you felt that it was more in hope that something happens because she knew it was as clear as it can be, but they knew that they needed somebody to stay till the end and get those like 4 or 5 more boundaries because this lineup, as scary as it is, you need early wickets, so you need that cushion as well to attack early with Shabnam and Anjali. So let's see if they can get that early breakthrough.
Yeah, I mean, they nearly did because is this a little feather?
no,
No,
no, it's,
missed it by miles. So good first up. I mean, literally on the money from Shabnam Ismail. Keep your comments coming through, of course. Lots of sport happening on this Sunday. Our producer Vikas was watching the industry hockey. I was watching the United Southampton. Akash is still waiting for Barcelona.
yeah, it's late night.
It's a late night game for him. And of course, we're going to be talking about all things WPL right now. Tell one fast bowler, power hitter, and proper all rounder, not bits and pieces, who's impressed from him in the Indian domestic circuit. I think we got no answer till now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll find an answer immediately in the first season. That's
Power hitter, Kiran Navgire.
no, I mean,
Maybe.
she is a power hitter, but at the same time, if you just watch her innings today, she showed
Oh,
great,
that's a
great skill set.
beautiful shot. That
Yeah,
is a
that
shot
is
now.
just yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, she just showed great skill set, but again, that the difference between being experienced and being carried away with two boundaries is what differentiated, and that's something that will come with the WPL. I mean, the more games she gets to play, the more improved she will be as a package.
Yeah.
But as of now, I think it's a too tall task for us to just ask people to just come out of first season and perform well. It'll take at least 1 2 seasons. It's just the base, and we'll have to. It's kind of the foundation, right? You can't expect a lot in just one season, and it'll take time.
Yeah, I mean, those are valid points. Mohit, do you concur with Akash?
Yeah, I don't think like anybody has been exceptional, but there have been people who've shown potential. So when it like comes to the fast bowler, I'll say somebody like Gentimoni Kalita has been very good. She's not bowled a lot, but for somebody so young, she has all the ingredients to be a very good bowler. Even today, like she managed to bowl some good balls against both Elisa Healy and Talia Magra when they were well set. Talking about the power hitter, like you said, Kiran Navgire is probably the one. Jasia Akhtar's another one, but unfortunately she hasn't played yet. But
Yeah.
Kiran Navgire, the other six hitter on the domestic circuit who's not played yet is Ashwini Kumari. I think Gujarat Giants will play her in the next match, so looking forward to seeing her bat. But yeah, Kiran Navgire, especially against spin, is a very good power hitter. She needs to improve on her play against pace, especially of the back foot. So that is something that she needs to work on. And as for all-rounder, I don't think we need to look beyond Shreyanka Patil because in a T20, she's good enough to get into the team as a batter, as a bowler, and also as a fielder. So a proper 3D all-rounder who's shown glimpses of potential in all three departments. I think the all-rounder is definitely taken care of. And yeah, fast bowler and power hitter, I think we'll discover them through this season and the next season with greater exposure, like Rohit rightly said.
Akash, you mean?
Yeah,
Sorry, Akash, my bad. Sorry.
I mean, we love that. It just Does he look like Rohit? Let us know in the comments below.
No, it's
Me and
Mumbai
Nick
playing, right? So you can't stop thinking of Rohit on a day when Mumbai Indians are playing and winning.
Mo's making up for his little mistake there.
Moy talking about his brother Rohit.
Mo's talking about Rohit, yeah. Nix and me were kind of smiling there because he mentioned two names in terms of Kiran Nabire and Jasi Akhtar, who's always been mentioned on this watch along. If you know, you know. But I just want to ask Nix about Yasika Bhatia. She played two shots there, maybe the shots of the tournament. I mean, not shots of the tournament, shots of the night at least. Is she kind of looking like a Smriti Mandana for Mumbai Indians? All of a sudden, she's got some confidence going. She needed that RCB knock. Invariably, it's against RCB. What do you make of that in particular? And what do you make of her being the perfect partner for someone like Hayley Matthews?
Yeah, I think. See, I don't think it would have been easy for her to step in and open when you have so many all rounders around you who have been batting like for fun. The way Skiver Brandt and okay, that's a great miss
That's
hit.
gone.
Oh, we
Hooray!
nearly jinxed it. Nearly put the markers on Yastika over there. But yeah, gone straight
Yeah,
to
so
her.
I think when she would have seen that how the ease with which the experienced pros are doing it, I'm not saying that there wouldn't have been pressure, but she would have wanted that one score to just
Yeah.
feel better about herself and not rush into things. So now you see, definitely see a bit more confidence. You definitely feel that yes, there is some more work to be done, but again, this could have easily not worked in her favor. But these are the chances that you want. That you take that risk and it goes in no woman's land and you're free and you can then play a few more shots that way. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with people bowling outside leg to Haley Matthews. Even Rajashri Gaikwad did that in the very first over. So I'm sure there is something that everybody has missed in the world cricket because only Indians are bowling that line to her in this tournament.
And she's been feasting on that, some would say, because
Yeah.
most of her power play has been on the onside. Good to see Sachin Upadhyay in the comments saying, "Hey guys, dropping Grace Harris cost UP in two matches. Not a good move at all. That too, winning the toss and choosing to bat first. If they lose today, they'll probably be that they will probably reason is pretty evident to me. I mean,
She's not dropped.
She's sick.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's sick.
sick, right?
You can't pick somebody who's
Yeah.
who's not ready. I mean, who's
Yeah.
sick and can't play. So
I mean, I understand the first time when they dropped her because that was just like, how do you do that? And they got Shabnam Ismail then and there. But this time she's sick, so she's not made it not to any tactical reason. Meanwhile, this is a good over. Despite just 6 runs coming off it, Yastika is looking pretty good. 10 balls, 14 so far. Remember, she got a life, and let's see if she makes the most of it. If you guys are watching for the first time, do subscribe and tell us what's interested you the most so far in the WPL. There was some fascinating games, some dejection if you're a Bangalore fan like me. I mean, I don't even know if they're going to win a game in this Premier League so far. But yesterday, Shefali Varma, guys, Nix and Akash, I spoke to her about Mohit, but was that the innings of the tournament for you?
yeah, that is. I mean, that was Shafali at her best. Even I think
Unbelievable.
in the pre-match, I think one of them rightly mentioned that how having somebody like well experienced, somebody like Meg Lanning,
Yeah.
you go just. I mean, it's a basic thing, right? Just go to your partner and say, just smack,
Yeah.
just hit the ball. Anyone can say that,
Yeah.
but it coming from someone who's a serial winner, who knows how to win, that kind of confidence coming from those top players is what kind of gives you that boost. And Shafali is, I think, immensely benefited from playing alongside Meg Lanning, and that will probably reflect in when she returns for India as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to look up to Meg Lanning or Meg Didi, as she's calling her nowadays. Nix, what do you make of that partnership? It gives you even a little bit of a Warner sort of Prithvi Shaw vibe in terms of the equivalent, but nothing to take away from her innings last time. Pretty brilliant, right?
Yeah, it was like there are some batters who, when they play their shots, you feel helpless.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel there is very little that you can do with the way they are going about. So, of course, there are things that they tried. They tried the short ball. They tried to go very full. They tried to go very wide. But it was just the day. There was that one very full ball. She just carved it behind point like it's like, okay, I knew you were going to bowl there. I was just practicing. So, I mean, you have those days when you are something like a Shefali Verma. But what I will see, I am somebody who loves those kind of knocks, but I want to see that more
Hmm.
because we've seen this in the past. and we've all fallen. I will not say fallen for it, but we've all felt that okay, now she'll get more consistent now because yes, there is risk in scoring the kind of cricket that she does, but I still feel there is a way to get consistent in that manner. And there are examples in how Haley Matthews goes about her innings construction. Meg Lanning, even in that game against RCB, it was great to see her, just maneuver the ball, find the way, and just be herself. That confidence comes with having runs on the back. So hopefully this now gives her that confidence that okay, I can still start well and go on to have those consistent 30-40s. I'm not saying don't give me 70-80s every game, but just giving those 30-40s. Again, this is from an India perspective more than Delhi, but I think it will help her. And of course, that is what we wanted to take from the tournament. Pick the big brains out.
Yeah, and I think if there's any Indian who can give Meg Lanning a race for that orange cap, it could be Shefali herself. Now that's a freebie from Anjali, and she's not started this over well. Two wides, and they've chopped and changed so far in this 20 balls because we've already seen four bowlers ply their trade. What do you make of that, Mohit? I mean, I know they're defending 160, and you guys are rightly saying maybe 15-20 behind par, and we'll get to Subocha and Stocks in just a bit. But so far, four different bowlers. Agree with that strategy or disagree?
I think I agree with it. Like the first over, I thought was just an opportunity to get one over out of the way, which is why they gave it to Rajeshwari, thinking that Yastika is usually a slow starter, so they thought they can get that one over out of the way. For the second and third, they went to their two best power play bowlers, Shabnam and Deepti. And because you want to save Shabnam's over for the death as well, and I think probably a over of Deepti as well. They couldn't have gone to one of those two for this over. And Anjali is technically a power play specialist because once the ball stops swinging, she's a very limited bowler. So it made sense to like give her the fourth over, but she just struggled to control the swing on those first couple of balls. Not that it's swinging a lot, but yeah, like if Anjali Sarvani is playing in the UP team, she has to bowl two overs in the power play. Otherwise, she doesn't bring a lot of utility to this bowling attack at least.
Yeah, you reckon that maybe Shabnam Ismail might pull another one?
I think she will because there's two more overs to come. So I think she will bowl at least one more.
I mean, meanwhile, Yastika Bhatia is just piercing the gaps at fun here. She's enjoying herself with Haley Matthews out there.
And for once, Haley Matthews at the non-strikers end.
Yeah, playing second fiddle. You don't normally see that. But all you guys joining us right now, do, of course, subscribe and press the bell icon. The only watch along we won't be doing is the 16th of March. Don't ask us why, but
Because we all need a break.
We all need a break, and it is, of course, the company's anniversary, so we're going to be going to Hyderabad and all that. So 16th of March will just be probably that day that we won't be. I think it's a Delhi UP game, I'm not sure, but we'll be back on the 17th for the first ODI where we're going to be doing a watch along for the India Australia one. So lots to, of course, look at. And of course, not to forget the IPL, which is what now 17 days a day.
Don't start.
19. Oh my god, my life's just going to go into absolute.
Just like his franchises, he's just counting.
Yeah, I mean,
So
shocking.
do you have your calculators ready already?
We don't have points. If they had points, I would bring the calculator out. That's a good point that Gurkila told me the other day as well. So like, bring the calculators out only if they start winning games. Want to know Nikhil's thoughts on of course, the perennial lose
Bangalore.
in Bangalore. What's going wrong with them, Knicks? What do they need to do with the next game? I'll tell you what. I mean, they played pretty much everyone in their squad, barring Indani Roy and, of course, a certain South African. Will those two get a game?
I think it is something I discussed right when we were reviewing the teams as well. That the problem for me with RCB has always been they focus too much on the big names and they don't really use the Indian depth at all, which is very surprising and sad as well. That the construction was always such that you had not for the first time top heavy. I mean, we talked about it in the very first watch along that Haydenite being batting at 7 and 8, it's not the way to go about it. And again, Megan Chut, Renuka Singh Thakur, I think the letdown for them were these two bowlers. I felt they expected a lot from these two, and that both of them did not click, put immense pressure on the rest of the bowling to really step up. I think Shriyanka Patil was great addition. She showed her worth ever since she's been playing. So it was enough hint that that is how you want to play. even in the previous game, you saw them change the batting order and not put out the best batter at that position. So
Yeah.
it befundles you that how is this side making the same mistakes that we've seen similar franchises make in the past. So I am all for playing Sophie Devine. She'll give you 100 on any given day, but what are the chances of that helping you in the long period of time?
Yeah.
She's not been bowling for New Zealand. She was not batting in the top order for them. You could have probably used Dan Van Nickel and Heather Knight both and given them those spots. Perry was looked great in that previous game and she scored a 50. So you just had to find the balance. I don't think they found the balance, and I felt something that I said again, going back to that point, that you allowed the best players to do the easiest job in the world, bat in the top three. But that is how no, that's not how it's going to always work out for you, because if you don't have that depth, the teams will show up, and that Mandana hasn't come off. And again, you see the dismissals, off spinners, tentative batting. It's been a mix of a lot of those factors. I hope they get together and form a strategy that okay, you will have to use your Indian contingent better. It is not always going to be that your top three or top four will always get you runs. You'll have to have that depth. That's a great ball from Sophie, but not out, I think. So I think yeah, that is again too many names, too less games.
Yeah. Akash, I mean, do you think they'll even win a game? Bangalore.
They should with this star power. At least, I mean, from the setup, one of them should click at least in a game where, say, somebody like Smriti could score a 70 and 80, and that could be a winner.
But if she's not coming to the party, Renuka, of course.
That's the thing, right?
That's
They're
right.
all too good as stars, and it's just probably not clicking together, and
Yeah.
some of the strategies are just off.
I mean, it's kind of really comparable to what the men's have achieved in
Oh,
terms
that's
of all
bad.
that.
Which is why, and
I
which
mean-
is why it makes it even more weird that how is this not and straight away option to see that okay, it's not working. Why would
Yeah.
you go down the same route with the same franchise? Had it been some other franchise, you can still understand it, but it's the same franchise, same strategy. It's just bizarre.
It's just bizarre. I mean, imagine fans like me who've just been crying for the last 15 years in terms of
Well,
any survive here cricket.
I have worn the RCB jersey only once in my life, and it was only for you.
Yes, I remember that. We have that documented.
Oh,
No one.
it's boot first.
It's boot
Yeah.
first than that. Wow.
I think
First of all,
probably
I thought,
umpire's call.
yeah, at first look, I thought that it was just a bizarre review, but I think it's a good review. This and Greg Calder in the comments saying Haley Matthews might be out because she's been starved at the strike. Wonderful review saying Greg again. Gregors, do you think this is out? Because I honestly think they might have had their first run here, UP, because we can see all three stumps.
But it's sliding, right? So it's tough.
Yeah, I think it's going down the leg side because
Middle, and that's a wonderful review. Whoever's taken that review, it's Elisa Healy, and then of course Sophie Eccleston, and she will be absolutely delighted because remember, Eccleston said on interview, I think 2 days ago, that she wants to win the purple cap. She got 4 last time out, and she's just got another one to her kitty. So 1 down Mumbai, and Haley Matthews, the one who's playing second fiddle, has had to walk back. And there's a little bit of a confrontation here. What's all this about?
I have no idea. I mean, we're on mute.
Are you
And-
a good lip reader?
No, not that good that I can.
I mean, Haley Matthews is not
I think
walking.
she still thinks that it's bat and then boot.
Or did they review in time? I think they reviewed in
No,
time.
they did review in time.
Okay, so Haley Matthews has to go. She
She-
might not
yeah.
like it.
She doesn't have a choice, I
She
guess.
doesn't have a choice. Whether she
Okay.
likes it or not. I mean, Mohit, come in here because what do you make of this? Why is there like a little stoppage? What's the confusion?
Oh, they have reviewed.
yeah, I'm not sure what's happening because like clearly the umpire's given her out, and irrespective of whether she agrees or not, she has to walk back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can see now that she's making a slow walk back to the dressing room.
Not yet.
Not yet.
She's just still figuring out where the dressing room is because she clearly hasn't been dismissed a lot of times to know.
Now, this gives us enough evidence to see that it's hit the shoe or the lace or whatever and hit Kukubara back. But essentially, I don't know why she's kind of waiting about that. Because Yeah, it
But
looks.
from this replay, it doesn't look like it is
Yeah,
hit
for
the.
this replay, I mean, does it flip
Is
the
is it the
shoe?
same ball?
Is it is it the shoe which just gets touched here when it goes up?
But it doesn't. It's there is a clear gap.
There is a clear gap. Now that is some.
How can two different angles show two different things?
That is.
See from this angle.
Yeah, this is quite
Okay,
ridiculous.
this is the ball.
It
Guys,
doesn't
let's
look like it's hit
let's
the
take it
shoe
down.
first. Like, at least when they show it from the front on angle, it looks like it's hit the bat and then gone onto the shoe.
No, is it
And
two other? I mean, two replays or two different deliveries. That's how it looks.
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
can
that
be
is what it
different.
looks like. Yeah.
It is. It is.
No, I don't think they'll reverse this. I think the original decision is not out. And then it was
Because
given out. I don't think
the
it will
moment,
reverse.
yeah, the
Sorry?
moment it was given out, Sophie still said it is not out because she saw that the ball was never hit the boot, which is again great insight from Sophie to be able to see that on the big screen.
That is true.
Yeah, it's too honest for an English cricketer.
Way too honest and within the rules of the game.
So this is taking a little bit of time
This
in
is
terms.
clearly not out.
This is clearly not out, says Akash. I think it's not out as well. I mean, essentially that shouldn't be given up, but like we've seen strange things happen before.
Yeah, I
Guys,
think they got the wrong delivery the first time
Yeah.
around, and now they are going to arrive at the right decision finally, which will be not out.
So which was that? Was it the delivery before?
So it's not out. So it's not
Yes,
out. So they overruled it. So basically, it was not out, then they've given it out,
Out
and then
then they've given it not out again.
that is quite
Right.
bizarre. I don't know if I've seen anything like that in the game of cricket, but Hayley Matthews, more importantly for Mumbai, is not out. 10 of 10. And she's
I think it
there.
has happened once before. Let me just check when.
Yeah, I agree with Avinav. The fact that it was just some optical illusion in the middle of the pitch, some mirage, whatever you want to call it.
But which delivery is it that it hit the boot first?
Or maybe the ball into the pitch has created the little crevice in the DRS, which is ridiculous. I mean, the outright.
So
Anyway,
I found it. It was Amazoni who was dismissed because of a wrong replay, confirms ICC. I've got the match.
Wow. Out of all people, it has to be Dhoni.
it has to be Dhoni.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
again, guess
guess
who it was against? It was against West Indies.
in an ODI?
That's what I'm checking. Caught at mid-on. Wow. It's a test, second test between West Indies and India in Barbados, where he was caught at mid-off for the bowling of fielding umpire. Of Fiddle Edwards, sorry.
Fidel Edwards.
Wow. It was actually a no ball, but they showed the wrong ball and Dhoni was given out. And then it came to fore that it was a wrong ball that was shown and Dhoni was not out.
No, that's insane. I mean, I can't believe that's happened. But look, 5 overs gone, 40 for none. And it's almost like a nonchalant start. They've got the required runs exactly at 8. Required runs, of course, is 8 and over. And it just makes you think whether Mumbai's batters will get enough time out there in the middle, because by the looks of things, Hardman, apart from that first game, hasn't got that much time in the middle. Will that be a cause for concern going forward?
Of course it will. It's like one of those things where your top order is doing everything, and then suddenly you're in a big match where they are like 10 for 3. You
Yeah.
know which team I'm talking about, but yeah.
Bangalore!
No.
Oh, no.
India.
Oh, India, sorry.
You're 10 for
2019.
3 and then you're struggling, so yeah, they wouldn't want to do it.
The only player that you've taken in your team for a collapse doesn't get to bat.
Oh, she
It's
struck
gone.
here. She struck here. Shabnam Ismail. Now,
Confident. Yeah.
Elisa Healy wants to review this because he has the power to do that, first and foremost. And she took the catch, more importantly. But there was a little feather this time around, because in the first over of Ismail as well, it was almost a carbon copy. What's your gut feeling, boys? More or less?
Going by how very confident. It can be something.
More than Shabnam Ismail being confident, I think Elisa Healy was confident. So.
No, she's like, I don't have a choice. If Ismail is saying I have to go, it's like
Mumbai lost its first wicket
Yeah,
after
she didn't think so.
a long
see, the only thing is, they're showing the right thing. Okay, then.
Right. And this could have a little tickle on it. I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, is it easy? All right.
It looked like there was a sound though when the ball passed back.
Yeah, and some deviation as well because the revs are kind of
Yeah.
changing.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing to look at once we look at that spin vision sort of cam. Come on, bring on the right ball, please, this time. Because, I mean, shenanigans from the
Imagine if they
umpire.
end up going back to some other delivery and they're like, there's no edge.
We've already wasted 10 minutes here
She's
thanks to the
walking.
third umpires. Original decision is not out. I don't know. Ask about Bhatia if she's walking
Oh,
back.
she's checking the That's out. No,
Is there
that's
an
not. That's
edge?
not.
No, there isn't an edge.
isn't.
Do not believe in Australian
Oh.
appeal.
Is it the same delivery?
Is it the
But why
same?
was she walking, or is she only going for drinks?
Greg, she looks guilty, but is she?
But is
she?
that again the wrong ball?
Again, is it the wrong ball? I think they're showing the first one, the over from the first one. I mean, that's quite
Wait,
shocking.
what? It can happen once in a day.
Yeah, it can't happen twice. It is not
Wow.
out. So look, Mumbai
Okay.
Indians, have they bought? Have they bought the other?
Sorry, the passenger from Mumbai? No comments.
Really joking.
The cash is here.
Yeah. Right, so they burnt both their
But
reviews.
is it the same delivery? It looked far more close, like in real time than.
SS98 says Richard Rose was out against Emma, but the DRS didn't show his spike banned DRS. Or should we just ban it? Just ban it. Honestly. But how will it
Ban
come?
RCB?
Just to do it.
Did you just say ban RCB?
No, ban am I? Oh!
Oh,
Justin had enough of this and she's gone funky. 4 more to her, 30.
See, Nikhil, it wouldn't make a difference because their existence is equal to nothing,
no,
right?
it makes a difference. You need people to smash and make records.
Oh, yeah.
How do you? How else would a 49 happen if not for an RCB?
Oh,
How would you
yeah.
see 400s being scored because you know you have to concede those many with the ball?
Or the 263, man. Come on, we have the highest and the lowest.
Or Albion Markets something, right? I mean, like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
are multiple.
There are multiple. There are multiple. I thought for a second I forgot that. Thanks for doing that. Right, 4 balls left in the power play, 45 for none. And it makes me think
There's
whether
a four.
another boundary. Yes,
That's
it's your day. When it's your day, it's your
Yeah.
day.
Or you can say when it's not your day, it's not your
It's
day.
not your day.
That's how it's been for.
And there's already quite a bit of boundaries in this tournament.
It's a no ball as well.
And it's a no ball.
Yeah, sure. Bring it on.
Sorry, we can't hear the hooters because we're watching this in mute. So thanks to the entire signal, like the olden days. Or is she
Oh,
going to
that's a
maximize?
big.
So 46, no, sorry, 49 for no loss. Mumbai can't take home. Do you think Bangalore won't win a game? Mumbai will win all the games. And because thanks for backing me up, right? Thanks. Very good.
Don't
Free
know
hit,
what luck.
free hit. Oh!
That's. Oh, that was so lucky.
3
Going,
shots at once.
going by their luck, it could have even reached the boundary. I mean, that's how terrible their luck is.
They'll scamper that high, which will bring up to the.
Yeah, it does.
50 none, I can see. I mean, this opening partnership was fair, I should say.
Confident.
Obviously, landing in Chitali are most threatening. Mandana and Bhutan haven't delivered. The others, of course. I mean, Shweta Siddharth was demoted as an opener, so unfortunately.
And the worst thing is she batted number 8. That how can you? I mean, it's like most of the teams are playing somebody who's just a specialist. Nothing. They're not bowling them. They're not batting them. Just there for as fielders. That's something that's very puzzling because role definitions is something.
Even today,
Which
right?
is-
I don't think Mumbai bowled one of their bowlers properly.
Yeah, I don't think Amanjot bowled at all. So it's like confusing as what exactly the role is in the team because I don't think Shweta Sherawat bowls a lot, at least to bat at number 8 or 9. So it's like
Yeah, I mean, Mohit, I mean, even the name that you mentioned a while ago, Kalita, I mean, she would like to have bowled much more in this tournament, but that hasn't been there because you're giving overs to Hayley Matthews, obviously Amelia Carroll, bowl her 4. Pooja also is not bowled her full quota. She's not
no,
playing today.
yes, not.
But generally, I mean, what do you make of a point that Akash just touched upon? That players are playing, they're featuring in the 11, but they're not kind of doing what they're actually supposed to do.
I think ultimately teams want to win and they are not treating this as a development league, which is why we are not seeing those players like batting in the positions they bat
But
at
does
on the
that bode well
domestic
in the dressing
circuit.
room?
Sorry.
Does that bode well in the dressing room? Is that kind of took on board positively by
Yeah,
everyone?
like see, mostly if we talk about these players who are not getting to bat or bowl in their preferred roles, they are very young players, like players who are either from the under 19s or like still not established in the Indian team. So for players like them, just to be playing with these Indian players like Harmanpreet Kaur or Smriti Mandana or somebody like Elise Perry or even Haley Matthews is a great learning curve, because otherwise they don't see this kind of quality day in day out. So I feel like even just being a part of the 11 and like somebody like Amanjot Kaur, she opens both the batting as well as bowling for Punjab, but she can't do that here. But she is making a difference, because if you look at just how well she's fielded in the 4 matches, she's probably saved at least 20 runs. So it's not like she's not making a contribution. She's making a huge contribution to this Mumbai team. And I feel like once Mumbai win 4 or 5 matches and secure qualification, they will look to push the likes of Amanjot Kaur and Humaira Kazi up in a game or two, just to give them some batting time ahead of the final.
Yeah, I mean, it's good points you mentioned that. Now, Rajeshri Gaikwad will continue and will finish off. Sorry, the power play is done, 51 for none, 6 overs. So let's see how that goes. Harmanpreet not bowling, Amanjot not bowling, Kazi not bowling. Yep. Three, all of them can bowl, but like
I think
obviously
Harmanpreet not bowling is actually good for
good
India
for
and
India. And she's
Mumbai.
not been bowling awfully for India as well. We didn't see her
No,
bowling.
because of her apparent. I mean, she like has a apparent issue, so she shouldn't kind of bowl a lot as well. So
That is true. Credit to Grace Harris to give us one exciting match. All the others are one set. Yeah, we're hoping that other games catch fire. Hopefully, towards the business end, there will be more
it's already the
to play
business end.
for. I mean, yeah, I mean, such a short tournament. Guys, I just want to ask you, when we're drawing parallels to that first ever IPL in 2008 compared to what we're seeing right now with the women's in 2023, we've spoken about a few stars which have been unearthed. Sriyanka Patil comes to mind, Seka Ishaq as well. In that first men's IPL, who did we really kind of see come to the fore? I know Jadeja under Warren
Yusuf
Thrive,
Pathan was there.
Yusuf
I guess.
Pathan.
Yeah.
Kohli didn't really make his
No,
name in the
Kohli
first
didn't
season.
really do anything.
Who the other Indians who came to the fore? Was it Badrinath? Because the IPL, or was he already?
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
Badrinath had a good season. I think Swapnil Asnodkar as well for Rajasthan Royals. He had a good season. Manpreet Goni was another one who like went on to play for India after that first season. Had a good season for CSK. There are not too many. Yusuf Pathan
Did
had
we have the
obviously
Emerging
already
Player of
played
the
a
Award
match.
in the first season?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think Yusuf Pathan won it, right?
The Emerging
Yeah,
Player?
yeah. Yusuf Pathan was the player of the final, and I think Shane Watson was the player of the tournament.
Tournament.
I mean, yeah, because you're
Yeah.
struggling to find him.
Shot.
By the way, this is an
6.
absolute brilliant shot down the ground for
Was
six.
it Deepthi?
It's
Yeah.
as soon as it left Yastika's bat, you figure that Longon will have to really kind of be 7 foot tall or more to pull it back in. But Dipti Sharma doing her best in the boundary, but can't really pull it back in. Now Mumbai, I mean, making a mockery of this run chase right now. I mean, not as much as Delhi did in that game yesterday, chasing 100 odd in 7 overs.
Yeah, that's
Have you ever
like-
seen that in a men's IPL game?
Yeah, I have in a losing cause as well.
In a losing cause,
Oh,
God, they've got
brilliant.
them. They've got their wicket, and just when we
Will
thought
one
that
bring two? That's
Yeah.
the question.
can one bring two, because Yasika was looking really good. 42 for her. She will have to depart. 58 for one. But look, the opening partnership has done their bit. Next timely wicket, you feel? Do you think UP can get back into it now because the middle overs, beg your pardon, is so crucial?
Yeah, I mean, better late than never.
Yeah.
So the point is to now build on this. It's just one breakthrough. It's also come against the matchup to the shorter boundaries. So they'll have to strike quickly to get into that middle order that is not tested much. So again, I think Mumbai would be delighted that out of 58, if you told them Yastika scored 42 of them, they would take it like 11 times out of 10. So I think in that sense, good knock for Yastika as well. Despite that life, that's something you can't hold against her. But again, it's just the strength of Mumbai, right? You don't need Haley Matthews to do anything, but just stand there and watch Astika Bhatia do the job, because the pressure is not on. The teams are looking to get Haley Matthews out. But Justika, if you err to her, then she's also making them pay. So I think that way it's working out well as a pair. We should see Natalia Skiver come out to bat now, which will only make things harder for UP. But I think they have the bowling. I think it's slightly disappointed with the way teams have used their bowling resources. Like Mohit also rightly pointed out in the first part, you have to start with Anjali Sarvani. You can't think of getting an over out first over of the game when you don't have enough. If you had 190, I'm all in to get an over out early, because you're worried about who will be the fifth bowler and how much which you. There is no time for it. Get Shabnam Ismail to bowl two, Anjali Sarvani to bowl two in the power play. See if there is any movement. Even if not, Shabnam Ismail is great at bowling maidens. You bowl six dot balls at Justika. Maybe it could lead to a problem with Matthews, with Haley Matthews taking the risk. So I think teams at times look too far ahead, and it's a general thing. It's not just related to this game or the WP or this tournament in that essence. But too many times I feel captains are looking too far ahead in terms of what will I do in the 16th over. Let the game get till there first. So I mean, Sophie now has three. So of course, thankfully she's back. So you need. I can understand holding two back or one back. You don't have to hold 3-4 overs of your best bowlers back, because you know the cream is at the top. And she also starts with the one down leg. There is something that we don't know about Haley Matthews.
Or maybe she has just a magnet in her left pad where it's just attracting the ball over there. But jokes apart, though, Akash, where do you see UP in this tournament? I know Mumbai and Delhi are kind of running away with it, and then of course you have Bangalore down in the dumps. Are they the third best horse?
Gone.
Gone.
Matchup has worked.
And Nix was saying it. Why are you holding people like Sophie Eccleston back, especially when you need wickets? She's got a wicket properly now. There was some contentious calls earlier, but this one, make no mistake, a simple cotton bowl, and that'll do a world of good. 58 for 2, and like Akash said, one brings two, and we've spot on. I mean, is this a game-changing over? I mean, not yet. But...
No, I mean, with Sophie Eccleston, you are rest assured that she'll bowl 4 overs, she'll concede only 13-14 runs, and pick up 3-4 wickets. And we don't know how she does it. She does it game and every game. She concedes like 5-6 runs in the first over. We're like, okay, she's already conceded 6 runs. She'll go for like 20-25.
Yeah.
And then she ends up only conceding 15, and she picks up 4 wickets.
Is this like peak Sunil Narayan, KKR days, where he would give you like just 2 for 13?
Yeah, it's exactly like that, because she can bowl in the power play, she can bowl at the death, and she can bat as well. So it's probably peak.
I mean, Eccleston has better hair than Narayan, though, to be fair. Today, Mumbai middle order will be tested. Good that it gets tested in that later in the tournament. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen Pooja Vasakar bat. She's not going to be batting today because she's not playing. But this too, I mean,
I think this is the match.
Yeah.
Harman versus Sophie.
And that is generally a great matchup even in world cricket. So let's see how that goes about things right now, because both of them new to the crease, and Eccleston has the tails up right now. Mohit, how do you think the game's going to swing from here? Because that 58-run stand looks good, but now UP are way back in the game.
Yeah, they're definitely back in the game. And like you said, like how long Harmanpreet Kaur plays for will be crucial, because Sophie Eccleston still has almost 2.5 overs left. Deepti Sharma has a lot of bowling to do. So how they play out Deepti and Sophie will be crucial. I think they should just look to see off these two and probably attack the other bowlers. But there's Shabnam Ismail as well. So that makes it interesting, because there's a lot of good overs that are yet to come. Like, I agree with what Nix was saying. A lot of times captains don't get their bowlers, right bowlers bowling in the first 10 overs, which is something which I felt Meg Lanning did really well yesterday, because she got Marizan Kaap to bowl 4 on the trot. Not a lot of people would have done that, but she did that, and the match was done by the time those first 8 overs were done. So, yeah, that is the difference between like a captain who's really aggressive and experienced and knows what she's doing, and somebody like Alisa Healy, who does not have a lot of captaincy experience and is still finding her way around captaincy.
It nearly was a perfect over, but just a wide. But look, they'll take this over indeed. Just one off at the wide that I just said. Well, last ball, let's see if she can finish off well. She does. So
Brilliant drift then.
brilliant drift as well. 59 for 2, 8 overs. And I think that game has just brought it back to parity. By the way, download the cricket.com app because there's lots of cricket happening right now. India, Australia, of course, going into that 5th day. You guys can check out all the analysis and stats there. Some cool videos. We started this new segment called On This Day, and it was on this very day that whole 434, 438 game happened. So there's a video on that and not other things to forget as well. Just on that game, 434, 438, where were you watching that one?
Too young to remember.
In school, somewhere?
I was what? 6.
You were 6?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
How would I remember that?
That's
indeed.
insane.
Yeah.
I think I was at my neighbor's house, actually, funnily enough. We just
Yeah.
decided to watch it. Next, where were you watching that game? 434?
Yeah, at my home, just a day prior to my history exam, and I did not study a word, but I still got enough marks because I think it was just amazing. I mean, you want games like those to happen. I mean, just talking about it brings smile on the face of people, even though they're not speaking or they're even talking about, okay, what happened, what was it? It's just that belief, It. I mean, it is why we watch sports to get that belief, get that inspiration that okay, the impossible is still possible. If you just have to believe that it is possible. The start from Graham Smith, the knock that Gibbs played. I mean, to think what Ponting did and feel that okay, there is still a chance there. Jack Carl is saying that they're probably 20 short, and then you go down to the end, Mark Boucher, Antini, and all of that, and they eventually win. And the atmosphere, it's the fans that make you remember these games even more because you know the noise and the cauldron that was there. That for these games, these are all memories that you cherish all your life. So there are like very few games that you can count that can make you feel that way. So this definitely was one of those, and it's like it sends the trend that okay, it is possible. If that game, and I think the game in Jaipur where Kohli hit the fastest 100 for India in ODI.
Hmm.
And these two are the games where I was like, it almost felt inevitable. It will happen. It was the ease with which they were scoring those runs that you felt that oh, this is building up to something. This is building up to something. And 50 overs was still a thing then. So yeah, long way back.
Another bizarre thing here.
Yeah.
They don't have a review, but they're showing DRS timer. We don't know why. Things.
I think it's a learning curve for the broadcasters as well. At times, I don't think bats like KL in T20 cricket.
I think KL Rahul has become like salt. He's there even if he's not there, and in everything and in anything you can bring KL Rahul.
Yeah, he's like Swad Anusar.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. Harpreet's not off the mark yet, but talk about getting off the mark.
No,
She'll
she's still not.
not be off the mark. So still a good couple of overs this so far to pick things back nicely.
Great
But
couple of overs.
yeah, that
Nicely controlled.
434 game. I mean, if you guys haven't really go see the highlights. Just absolutely brilliant. Nicks.
If you don't remember it, watch our video. If you remember it, watch our video. If you want somebody else to remember it, please share the video. I mean, that's all you can do, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I think Graham Smith in our platform also spoke about it in the live picture. So look, lots to talk about. 60 for 2, Mumbai Indians coursing towards their 4th win on the bounce, and it'll be something because we're all kind of thinking about who's going to give Mumbai a run for their money, and it is a no ball.
For the second time in the day.
I mean, I just don't understand. I think she did it last time as well.
Yeah,
Yastika. I mean, is this such a problem? I know pacers, all right, but spinners is quite ridiculous. I mean, I know she's not a spinner.
She's probably the fastest.
I know.
Yeah. No, I get your point, but yeah.
I mean, generally,
it's either way a crime. Either way. And she gets away with it. That's
well.
That's a perfect opportunity actually for Harman to like kind of just like free her arms and just smack it over extra cover. She didn't do.
But I think she wanted to go leg side. So Ode to Gurkirat.
I think that's her first option is to go to the leg side, and then she assesses. Oh, wow, there is offside actually.
Yeah.
No, but in that 65 that she played in the first game, Ruchi, I mean, that was brilliant. That was top class, Harman. I mean, just threading it through the eye of the needle, as they say. But Nat Siva is also one to watch for sure. Abbas will take your comment. Let this ball just go over and straight down the ground. Did she go 4? No, it's a little misfield.
They can still go to the. No, nice.
Sharma.
Nice. 2 runs, I guess.
Also, India was Australia 7:30 despite Rohit 200 and Faulkner came and played when we were winning it comfortably, but India managed to win. Oh yeah, that was a scary time because I think Maxwell and Faulkner they did some damage to the bat.
That series actually I think extended Faulkner's career by 2-3 more years.
Yeah,
And he's just doing everything in that series.
yeah. James Faulkner that time was like a valuable cricketer.
He's still
for
what 33, 32 or
Australia
33.
and Rajasthan. Even for Rajasthan, they had that peak phase of Kibon Cooper, James Faulkner, Smith, Brad Hodge. I mean, good old RR days, if you guys
He's
remember.
32 by the way. He's younger than
What?
Kohli.
James Faulkner's just 32.
Yeah, see,
No.
things that you never get with James Faulkner.
I mean, that's good.
I think he still plays in the WBBL. So yeah, he's still not that old. James Faulkner.
Yeah, he used to play in the
WBBL.
I mean BBL.
Yeah.
In the BBL, sorry, yeah, in the BBL.
I was like,
Because
And he-
I don't think he can play the PSL. Of course not.
No, not now.
Yeah.
I think he was part of Hobart before he pulled out of that deal as well. I think so. Something to watch out for him there.
by the way, Nick, are you like Gurkirat watching the PSL as well?
Yeah, as always, you always like to watch random games, random events in a game.
Did you see the one yesterday?
Yeah, 252 chasing 263. It is just bizarre. They would rather drive cars there than have bowlers because it's no point. I just feel very. I mean, it's one of my pet peeves. I just don't get. It's okay to get 200 scores. It's okay to get 200 chased once, maybe twice, thrice. Teams are chasing 240 twice in a week. I mean, how are you going to take that tournament seriously? How are you going to? Who is benefiting from that? If people Ben Cutting doesn't get this much game time in Australia, that much he gets in PSL.
But is it watchable? Because like this is the debate I was having with the boys inside the office yesterday, at least with Shobh and Anirudh, and they were like, it makes it more watchable. Do you agree, Akash?
No, if I was at the ground, definitely it'll be very nice to watch a lot of balls coming towards me. But yeah, I mean, every day 260 is like, yeah.
But watching it on TV, do you actually want to tune in every day?
No, I do remember watching games in Sharjah, so it just takes me back to those days when they're like.
But the thing is,
260.
you wanted to do that because you knew what to expect from there, and that is why. And it did not come everywhere and every game. So of course Rawalpindi probably had the most number of highest scores in the recent times, but if it becomes a norm, then it becomes boring. It is exciting because it is like an exception of sorts. So that okay, in a 20-game tournament, you got 5-6 of them spread over a period of time. Then it is great to watch because yes, it's exciting. But my only problem with it is every day somebody new is coming. They are performing. They are batting anywhere. Anybody is. I mean, what is happening? Usman Khan suddenly comes in, scores 156. Like, dude, 120 in 40 balls. Teams is 156 in 10 overs. How am I supposed to comprehend this as a human brain who is also playing fantasy? That okay, who do I pick? Who do I not pick? Who is going to bat where? Please give me some idea.
No, wait. On a serious this thing, do you think there are more fans in the PSL game than the Ahmedabad Test?
I'm sure the Ahmedabad, there would be more people who would have enjoyed watching those 200 games as compared to Ahmedabad Test, because I don't think there is enough patience now left to watching cricket that is especially attritional or not going at a quick rate. So again, we also had a few points in the Watchalong when we did in the review that we did for the India Test that you prefer the rank turners or games getting goal in 2-3 days because we are just too used to watching things happen and you're not happy to wait.
Yeah.
While some of us who are old school, we are very happy to see that forward defend prod every day. I don't know how many people remember Aaron Redmayne from New Zealand. He's one of those guys I would just enjoy watching him defend the block. Craig Brathwaite is one of my best players to watch block a ball because people are running in, doing half the hard work. All he's doing is talk, and he's just happy doing that. And I think
that
that
with
is
sunglasses at times.
yeah, and it's fun. It's part of the game. I also enjoy Sky reverse sweeping people out of from third man. Fahim Ashraf played reverse scooped a ball from from wide offside of over third man for a 6. So you enjoy all of it, and as long as you have more of it in like period
Oh,
of time,
that's
then it's good.
leading
Oh,
edge.
Nearly out. Yeah, I mean that Fahim Ashraf was probably the shortest the year, let alone the PSL. If you guys haven't seen it, just type Fahim Ashraf reverse lap PSL 2023 and it's mad. Close TV when South Africa 5-1. Checked again to see Gibbs at 150. Real tense finish. It was. Couldn't
Oh,
understand
brilliant
who
shot.
Lewis was being thrashed and getting to goal. Yeah. I mean, he conceded 113 or something like that in his 10 overs that day the
That's the
Australian
last
was
of him.
the last of him. We haven't heard of him since then. But right now, it's been a really good passage of play for the UP Warriors with the ball in
I
hand.
think it's good captaincy as well because
True.
she's kind of decided like let's just reduce the runs and play the matchup,
Yeah.
and it's actually working at this point. In the last 3 overs, they bowled really well and not giving away too many freebies like free boundaries and all of that. So
And Harman, I mean, at best of times, yeah, she plays catch up cricket, but she's not one to kind of run away with the game.
no,
straight
she
to the
is
world
one
tour, right?
to if she gets like favorable matchups early on,
Mhm.
she is one to actually get a very good start. But yeah, they've actually bowled really well to her. See,
Yeah, but as
now
just
she's
we
got a
say
boundary.
that she gets a boundary, so she's put that away. 70 for 2, Mumbai Indians, of course, chasing 160, and they're halfway there, some would say, because they still have a lot of batting. Amelia Kerr, of course, is still there as well, and it'll be interesting to see how they go about their ranches. Tomorrow, I think Bangalore play again, and all
Is that a
eyes.
good news or?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping. You know, Nick's what frustrated me the last time around when UP hammered us by 10 wickets. I couldn't even say, come on, like my typical celebration, not once in that game. You know how sad that is?
No, I know you're a Manchester United fan.
I mean, technically, that's there, but at least this season we're doing something in that
yeah,
regard. But
like
Bangalore,
0-0.
man, at least close fight, something. It's just not happening. But we'll speak about Bangalore and all about them tomorrow. But today, right now, I think it's just going to be looking at another simple win, Mohit. I mean, Mumbai Indians are, of course, renowned to win titles with their men's, but even their women's. Would you be surprised if they kind of make it all the way to the final and then blow it?
Yeah, it would be very surprising considering how dominant they have been so far, and
Yeah.
considering the amount of experience that is there in this team. It doesn't seem to me like a team that would go in the final and blow it, because there are players there who've played lots of big matches and a couple of World Cup winners as well, and players who have like been player of the match in the World Cup final. And also, I really don't see them blowing it in a final. They might lose it, but it will be a very close game. Like if Mumbai are in the final, I think they'll either win it comprehensively or lose in a close match. I really don't see like Mumbai losing a one-sided final, at least in this season, because they are just too good to not to like lose a big match by a big margin.
I mean, interesting move this now.
I think we are going to
Melissa
see a
Healy.
lot of cutters from English over
Around the wicket that too, so it's just that angle maybe.
Jesus, the Lakers.
For sure. Now, obviously CSK not in the WPL, but who you backing? Just generally from a fan's point of
I
view.
just don't want to.
Okay.
But
Do you
I
have
mean,
any favorite women's cricket out there in terms of who you've appreciated in the years gone by?
I have, and she's finally in the WPL, which is Laura Woodward.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I think she has the best cover drive in across both men's and women's cricket. She has the best cover drive. So
She just
yeah.
played the one game, I think, right? So far?
yeah, it's last game, and she replaced Sophia Ranki, which is a stupid move.
Yeah.
Let's not go there, but yeah.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. Guys, quick predictions then for Subodh will, of course, answer this because he thinks SRH will win. That means Harry
Yes.
Brook.
No, I think they have a fair shot because they have a good captain, they have a good setup, and
So
they actually.
what's your
earn-
prediction? Who do you think will win the IPL? MS Dhoni.
No, I want Mumbai to win the IPL.
No,
Yeah.
no, man.
Just to test out my things.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
obviously.
right.
I agree.
Or
with that.
RCB.
No, come on. RCB should win it. It's either RCB for me or Dhoni to win it for his last year or whatever.
We are ruined.
Oh! Has that hit the stump? Has that hit the stump now?
I think it did hit the stump.
I
Oh,
can't
there,
believe that.
the bail is moved.
The
and
bail
then-
is moved and there's a little green light coming on the side.
Come on, guys, let's review it.
Now, I think Mumbai Indians here, they have a case of buying a lot of things and they could buy the stumps as well. They bought, of course, Ultra Edge.
This
Come on.
is this is umpire's call from the ball.
Oh,
Oh my God.
It is clipping the stumps but not lighting up. So umpire's call from the ball.
That
Yeah.
is just ridiculous.
in South Africa, it would have gone well over the sum. So
Harmanpreet enjoying a slice of luck, but yeah, that dig from Akash in South Africa could have gone.
she just
Anjali
celebrated
half
twice to know that it's not a wicket. And
Oh,
no,
that's out.
Whoa! What a piece of feeling that is! And that could be bullseye
yeah,
and curtains for Nat Brun. It was a latish call and direct hits we've seen
terrible-
so often.
why would you take a single when?
I hope they ban singles from
That's
T20
what
cricket.
Gurkira would say. Why attempt a single when you can hit a boundary?
And
Yeah, it's
this
a
time the
stupid
Bales
single.
were definitely dislodged.
Yeah, of course.
They
She
attempted
threw it
because
in,
Kaur
She
could not
gone,
attempt.
gone.
the
Oh!
what?
No.
Oh, wow! Nat
Is this the wrong ball again?
And her rabbit-like running has saved her.
But she actually didn't look confident. She's like
Yeah.
quite.
I mean, Simran Sheikh must have thought initially when she threw this, she was
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
She
even
isn't.
Alisa Ely thought it was gone.
So, I mean, if
Wow.
you're a UP fan, you're thinking, what? 2 wickets and 2 balls not happening, literally.
Could have.
Yeah, but there is a chance coming, which is for sure.
Obviously,
So we'll
a
see
little bit of luck, fortuitousness going Mumbai's way. 75 to 2, 10.4. Coming back to the IPL predictions, I don't know. Obviously, I want to ask you whenever here, but I don't know. I get some sort of solace because in the last 3 years, they finished in the top 4. So that gives me hope. And with Faf, it gives me hope because he's won with Chennai and he has winning in his DNA. I don't know about Virat. What about you, Nick, Mohit? Any early predictions like Subodh asked all of us?
Yeah, like you were saying, I think I'd want Chennai to win because like it might be MS Dhoni's last season and I'm in yellow today. So I think I'll go for the Chennai Super Kings. And with
But aren't
Dhoni,
you a
we've
Mumbai
seen like
fan?
that's for the WPL, not for the IPL.
Oh, okay. Who do you
Like
support in
CSK
the
doesn't have a WPL team, right? So I was free to pick a new team for the
Oh.
WPL. And Mumbai just happened to have like a lot of my favorite players. So yeah, but for the IPL, I think CSK might probably go all the way, especially if Ben Stokes is at his best with the bat.
Next,
I mean, going by t-shirt color, he should be what?
Punjab.
RCB
Oh,
or Punjab.
Delhi Capitals.
Wow.
Delhi Capitals.
No, jokes apart. I do think Warner might want a redemption, but I think it's either Chennai because I think they'll be extra motivated, and with Dhoni you don't need extra motivation in any which ways, but he has that thing about making people do things better than others can. So that one personal wish will be CSK. I do feel SRH have a great chance. This is probably their best chance once Warner and Rashid have gone, because I don't think they'll get a better core than this. Hopefully, they can hold on to them, whichever way they can. So I think Chennai, SRH, and then the third point, I feel Delhi could do the job this year. They have had the batting, but I mean, had Pant been there, I would have been more confident. But without Pant, I think it's going to be like an even keel between the rest of the teams.
Somesh was actually telling us jokingly, I don't know if he meant it, he said, Lucknow with the New Jersey. I was like, what? No chance. He was like, it's all part of the
Lucknow?
script, dude. And I was like, dude, if you're telling me I feel scripted, then why work? Why even come to work and believe that
Yeah. I just wish Smith did not find Smith found a better gap in 2016 in that case. I don't know. I just let's start with
That
this.
is
I mean, it might be a question that Mohit will know the answer of. But do you know Deepti Sharma's middle name?
no. Is it like Delaro Fernandez?
No.
Okay.
Let me give you a clue. She's DB Sharma.
Okay.
If that helps, you'll have to figure out what V is.
Bobby?
No.
Mohit, you know the answer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I think even Nikhil knows the answer. Yeah, you're the only one.
Obviously.
Yeah. Come on, guess.
I need to use my friend in
No, I can just give you the answer. Bhagwan.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
and that's what Elisa Ely is looking at her like, Bhagwan, please wicket.
It's such
Yeah,
a
I was just going to say that. Like the answer is
advanced
what
concept.
UP need to probably
Yeah.
win this match, a divine intervention. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Devine is with RCB and they are not using her well, so can't do much.
that's where the divine intervention happened.
But so far, what? 10 off this over. So, I mean, still 8 overs left, and Mumbai needs 74. So they're kind of pacing themselves. And when you have two great batters out there,
Oh.
and are we going to be seeing something cheeky from Dipti today? She might run. I mean, sorry, not saying anything.
I don't think she will.
I
Yeah,
don't think she cares who is at the other end.
she'll not Ron's Herman.
Adman knows her too well. Adman's way inside her crease. But yeah, so
Yeah.
87 for 2, 12 overs gone. But yeah, all the IP predictions done. I want to also play a little small game with you guys. In terms of if there were cricket books which would never be published, right? What are those books? Like, for example, Virat Kohli winning the IPL. Those
Okay,
books will never be published, right? So, can you come up with crafty ones? And it's for you guys in the comments as well.
No, I can. England and Spirit of Cricket. But irony is Spirit of Cricket. Yeah, that's the irony, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Next, Mohit, do you have any cricket books which haven't been published? Like, I can think of football ones and help you out to draw the thing. Like Pep Guardiola winning the Champions League with Man City. Things which are never going to happen
Yeah,
in real
you
world.
could have how 101 how to excel under pressure from South Africa. You could have Australia winning in countries not named South Africa away from home. I mean, there could be many. You could have Kumar Sangakkara and the right way to appeal. There are plenty. You could go.
Plenty. I think
I mean,
if,
I've written at least 15 such articles already in my life, where it is books or movie posters. Where I'll give one example. I made a series where I made Kevin Peterson as Severus Snape. I made MS Dhoni as the Albus Dumbledore. So there where I've done all of this nonsense because that's what sells. So you do all of that.
yeah, I was just thinking another Yuzvendra Chahal and what it feels like playing in a T20 World Cup.
Wow.
Uh,
I think
Obviously,
he'll never figure it out, I
things
guess.
will ever go. Mohit, can you give us a women's Premier League one or a women's cricket one if there ever was one? Mithali Raj in How Strike Rates Don't Matter. Oh.
That might actually be a book though. Like I'm sure if Mithali ever writes a book, she will talk about it because yeah, like that might
forward by KL
actually.
Rahul. Forward by KL Rahul.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm thinking of another one right now, but it's too below the belt, so I won't say it because it's television audience. But look, because Dipti Sharma is there, I would say Dipti Sharma, learn how not to monk out anyone. But obviously, people will have their own little says in the comments below. But let us know in terms of all the thoughts. Strike rate that matters by Kedar says the first reply.
How to win trophies.
By
By
Bangalore.
India.
Oh, by India.
Yeah.
Smriti's knocking knockouts in women. Yeah, I mean, Smriti obviously has to come good tomorrow. Smriti, if you're watching this, please,
Yeah, of
for the
course.
sake of Bangalore.
If Smriti is watching this, then I'm sure
Oh, what a shot that is.
she's going to lose.
What a
If
shot
she's
that is.
watching our show.
I mean, Smriti Mandana, I don't know whether it's the number 18 or whether it's just,
Wait, it's already what, 11? 11 runs of the over.
yeah, or 11.
Wow.
And they got 10 off the last over, so
So I put the jinx on Sophie as well. Thanks.
Jesus. I think Sophie, I mean, they need a wicket. That's why I think
Yeah,
Elisa Healy is just throwing the ball to both
brilliant
Eccleston
batting.
and Dipti. 99 for 2, then 13 overs gone. Predictions then, do you think Mumbai can get over this, or is there a little twist in the tail, Mohit?
No, I think Mumbai are going to get over this. And looking at how they've been batting in the last couple of overs, I think they will get there comfortably. Like it doesn't even look like this match will now go very deep because there's a lot of batting to come, and they only need around 60 odd runs with almost 7 overs to go. So I think they'll try to get this done in around 6 overs to like further just improve their run rate and solidify their position at the top.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think for the sake of the league, we'll want somebody to just dismiss both of them and just give Mumbai a scare. At least some team give them a scare. We thought Delhi would do it, Delhi didn't. Now we thought UP would do it, UP didn't. Apparently, there's no side.
Yeah, I mean, UP is Nick's team. Nick's, how do you go about picking a fantasy team for this one? Because obviously there was a little bit of a bias.
So it is actually easy for him. Just pick all the all rounders. Everybody are all rounders.
Who's your captain and vice captain then?
The captain is batting. Vice captain did well, picked up a few wickets. So all good. Most teams have all the all-rounders, and once you play fantasy for 8 years, you're not going to have any bias because you know.
Were you tempted to maybe captain or vice captain Sekha Ishaq?
Yeah, I have because I knew. Again, there are many combinations where I have only 4 Mumbai players, and those
Yeah.
4 are Matthew, Skiver, Saika, Ishak, and Kaur. Because you know these 4 are going to be doing the bulk of the work, be it with the bat or the ball. So you could take the risk on Easy Wong, Jastika Bhatia. Again, I took Jastika Bhatia in more combinations because you know they tend to take wickets which will result in stumpings, etc. So you want those points as well. So again, more all-rounders always make it good, but the problem is when only a couple of them perform, then you are done because if you don't have those options as captain, vice captain, then you're gone for the good. Like yesterday, if you did not have Marizan Cap as the captain, then you had no chance of getting anything back. So, but that is the risk you run running because it's not PSL where any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do everything. So you have to use more skills here to try and get a decent combination out.
Yeah, there's no Usman Khan so far. I mean, even though.
Yeah.
Oh, gone.
Oh, very spectacular one at extra cover.
He tipped it
Oof.
up the bar.
I'm thinking because maybe Nat Silverbrandt fell compared to it. Maybe she's just
No. This is a brilliant effort.
brilliant effort.
Yeah.
I think only Sophie could have got there with her height.
Oh, and that was the left hand.
Yeah. This is like proper goalkeeper stuff. Just tip it
Proper.
over. Yeah. No, actually, I was reading. Oh, he
Hey! Did they drop that?
They just have the knack of finding boundaries.
actually reading about Issy Wong, and her jersey number is inspired from a movie, from a character from a movie. Can you guess it?
What's the jersey?
95.
95. That's an interesting question. Izzy Wong wears the number 95 from Mumbai, and she's
And
been
if anyone knows
inspired-
the answer, please put the answer out in the comments. But we'll hold on and
Yeah, we'll reveal the answers in just a bit. But Izzy Wong, I mean, she's also like a good fantasy pick. I mean, talk about Mumbai having a lot of them.
this is Avnish drifting away from the answer.
No, just buying time. Oh, another four. And it's just that favored onside for Harmanpreet
She
again.
just moved, and I think she knew that she has to bowl outside off with the
Yeah.
field setup.
And it was a decent over till the last two balls. And again, they've just got 2 fours to make that
That's
over look
enough.
really,
Now.
really good. And that's all that's all they need right now. Mohit, I mean, how do you stop these two in particular? I know that they need a little bit of luck as well, which they haven't had go their way so far. We saw that Bale not being dislodged, the run out kind of seeing Nat Siva home. Is it just one of those days where Mumbai again gonna waltz home?
I think UP have like probably pushed Mumbai the hardest. They just, like you said, have probably been unlucky with a couple of things. There was that dropped catch of Yastika as well when she was dished on 9. And maybe like that early wicket would have maybe helped them a little bit. And also losing Talia Magra at the time they did made a
Yeah.
difference to the score, because had they got even 20 more today, looking at the current asking rate also, they would have definitely pushed Mumbai a lot harder. And I think like if Harmanpreet Kaur and Nat Silverbrandt are batting together, it's very hard to get the right bowler to bowl at them, because Harmanpreet Kaur is arguably the best player of spin in the women's game, and Nat Silverbrandt like is very comfortable against pace, and both of them don't struggle against either pace or spin. So even if you get spin, then Harman can take charge. If you get pace, Nat Silverbrandt can take charge. So you can see why this Mumbai team is so good, because whereas when you talk about Mumbai's bowling attack, because there's so much variety, they have a bowler to bowl in almost every situation. which is something that Izzy Wong talked about as well after one of their previous games, that they
What?
have the right matchup for every kind of batter. But when it comes to Mumbai's batting, most teams would struggle to find the right bowler, which would be a good matchup for both the batters that are at the crease at any given point of time.
Hmm. Harmanpreet did say that she'd fancy scoring 160 and chasing 160 rather, and they're definitely on course to do that, and that too with maybe a couple of overs to spare. I don't want to see Mumbai winning all 8 games and losing final. It'll break my heart. Hope we have one bad game with the blue hearts, says Bocha. And there are lots of Mumbai fans in the comments. Chachant is another one of them. I don't know who Greg supports. I don't know who the others are, but tell us. And if you guys are pathetic Bangalore lovers like me, I mean, let me know as well.
So
Sekas,
did you figure out the answer?
oh yeah, coming back to the Easy Wong one then. Just remind you guys if you guys.
Let's start with I think with you, because I think Mohit knows the answer, and
95.
Nikhil is probably Nikhil too probably will know the answer. So again, you are the odd man out.
Is it Bended Like Beckham?
No.
Is it an animated movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, here we go. I don't watch animated movies.
You
but I'm
won't
gonna take
kind
a
of.
shot in the dark.
I don't think you'll associate that with Issy Wong. That's what I would say.
95.
Yeah.
And there's a character in that movie that inspired her to wear that
Yeah.
number 95.
Yeah.
And it's an animated movie. Finding Nemo.
Nope.
Cars.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
Really?
Lightning McQueen.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
I've never seen Cars. It just my. I would have gone for Ratatouille next.
So that's where her jersey, and the reason she gave is like, I wanted to bowl fast, so I was inspired by that and kind of took the number from there. And she's a Liverpool fan.
Oh my god. I mean, just when I thought I was gonna like Izzy Wong, she's a Liverpool fan. Wow. What do in women's cricket fantasy team because there are too many all rounders?
Nice.
Please give
Yeah.
suggestions, Nicks. That's true.
See,
You're
I was just reading it out. I think in the preview that you saw that I posted today, it discussed how you could drop Dipti Sharma while bowling second because she's used usually in a way that teams don't have to take her on in second innings as opposed to first. We discussed about Haley Matthews having decent matchups up top. UP took time to wake up to it, but it still did not cost you much. The only problem was Matthews took 1 wicket. Now the problem with is, as I said, you have to get all of them in your team. You can't drop them because they are so good, and the system is such that they could get out on a duck, yet give you 25-30 points because they are so good at what they do. It could be with a ball, or they could take a few catches because they're always filling in the hot spots. So, which is why, like even in the preview that I discussed, I gave you 2 pointers for every all-rounder in which scenario you can drop them. But you can't eventually drop them. You just have to not make them captain or vice captain. So, like today, majority had Hallie Matthews captain. I did not. I had Natalie Skiver captain. And I was scared when she did not take any wickets. But because Matthews didn't do much, it still gives me an easy pass to outbeat others because I had somebody else as the option there. And again, the ideal would be to have Saika Ishak as captain. But then you saw what happened today. She took wickets only in that 1 over. Without that, the game was going fairly well. So
That's true. I mean, sometimes Knicks, but like just coming back to that point that you make about all rounders, sometimes aren't you tempted to kind of go left field, like in this case, Talia McGrath, who can bowl a couple of overs like we're seeing, but predominantly bat, or vice versa, Sophie Eccleston, who will give you those 4 overs and wickets, but also could contribute to 25-30, right? So, how do you kind of distinguish those goals?
So what I do is in my team one, the main team that I play majority of my leagues, it will have the safest players with a couple of risk in terms of captain, vice captain. As I said, Natalie Skiver was my captain and Matthews was my vice captain. So that differentiation was done in the team one. That is different. Then I have various teams where I have Saika Ishak and Harmanpreet Kaur as captain, vice captain as well. So that would have been ideal, but then I did not see Yastika Bhatia scoring in that sense. So I didn't have her. So that's the kind of combinations you try and make. So I have a combination where Talia is the captain and Sophie is the vice captain. I have Talia as the captain and Ismail as the vice captain. I have Talia as captain and Deepti Sharma as vice captain. So see, I'm trying to cover every scenario-based kind of combination, but eventually what happens is something that is beyond your control because
So you're
teams use
saying that
players. Yeah.
players who have one team shouldn't play.
No, it's a very important point to address as well. You have to remember what is the risk that you are taking. If you're going to go safe, then you are happy to play with one team. But if you're going to take a few risks, it's always handy to play with multiple teams because the reward is worth the risk. So
Hmm.
that is how
Like
you
for
have to think
example,
about it.
Yastika Bhatia today got 46 to 26. Right? Not many
Yeah,
people would have taken a punter because she'll just give you that one little batting
yeah,
points. Not necessarily
yeah,
she's going to take catches or contribute with the
yeah.
ball.
And
So
she could. So you
yeah,
also see the upside of it. Like
yeah.
let's take a very sorry to Tanya Bhatia and Sushma Verma. If they are playing and you have an Elisa Healy or Yastika Bhatia, the order would be Healy, Bhatia, and then the rest two. Because the probability of them having a great day and costing you with Healy is big. She
Hmm.
could score 100, she could score 150, and you could be out of the game. But that same thing is not true with, say, a Yastika Bhatia or a Tanya or a Shushma Verma. So that is how you kind of have levels of players that, okay, who is worth taking the risk on, who is a lesser risk, and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
basically, high risk, high reward.
high risk to high reward is literally
Yeah.
the name of the game. And sometimes it really pisses you off if you're playing fantasy cricket because you'll just look at other teams and other guys and they're just like, how did they predict all of this? Like yesterday, people who would have capped Madison Cap would have just probably just sat at home doing nothing, winning like a lakh and a
Imagine
half. 2 lakhs.
captaining Cap, and
Download the
vice
app.
captaining Shafali.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, but then it's a very common thing, captaining an opening bowler and an opening batter. It's a very common phenomenon in fantasy that I also had captain Cap and my vice captain though was Gardner. So that is the difference you take because again, the risk with Shefali is the day she clicks, she'll get you a lot, but she hasn't been consistent. So the risk then becomes far, far greater for the reward. So you try and balance, but again, as you said, one of the opening, even in the combination that I told you, Sophie Talia, Deepti Talia, it's the same thing. 4 overs bowlers and batting in the top four. So you will always find such combinations being made.
Yeah.
okay, that's now become an easy run
Ah.
chase.
It is. I mean,
This is
33 of
just
28,
ranting.
and Harmanpreet and Nat Siva, they were in a little spot of ball at 58 for 2, but that partnership now in full throttle, 69 these two would put on, and it looks like they might just be cantering home to an 8-wicket win. Do let us know if you guys play fantasy cricket. If you guys do, cricket.com is a place to be in terms of the fantasy research center. It's absolutely brilliant. And of course, follow Crazy Nicks for all the tips that you want.
6.
Wow, is that the shot of the day? It might be because it's actually carried all the way for 6. And boy, Hardman wants to go home. 27 of 27 right now.
17 over finish now.
I mean, Akash, is Mumbai's batting more threatening than their bowling or vice versa? Where's their strongest point? Because seemingly all three departments are excelling.
I think the strongest point is experience. I know that it is very cliche.
No, good point.
No, but it's something that has won them matches, and I'm talking about, see, all the other teams do have all rounders and do have batters and bowlers and all
And
that
experience. But like
experience, but I don't think at this level because all of them are proven match winners and have played in high pressure situations. So it's just about them kind of getting through all of the clicking as a team, right? RCB, again, you can say that there are a lot of match winners, but as a team, they're not clicked, and they have a lot of inexperienced, but or relatively newer players as well in the mix. But Mumbai, the core of Mumbai, right, is proper match winners and veterans of the game. So that is what has differentiated them from the other exciting teams.
Yeah, they know how to win, and that's the most remarkable thing. And they've been literally winning all their games so far. And she's got another 4. I mean, there's not a single thing wrong that Harman can't do right now. And she's got a little bit of lady luck, of course. She was bowled around her legs by Anjali Sarwani, but the pails didn't, of course, dislodge. So she's still out there, and she's putting on a match-winning partnership with Nat Siva. I mean, just to pick off from where Akash left off, Mohit, experience they do have, great batting depth, great options with the ball. I mean, when we compare them to, I know it's too early to say because they've just played 4 games in their history, but this has the makings of really, really good T20 teams, right? I mean, we talk about Perth Scorchers, the Mumbai Indians men's side, Chennai Super Kings. By the way, she's absolutely feasting on Talia McGrath like a ice cream from Corner House or something. It's a joke.
It's
honestly
a Bangalore joke.
It's a Bangalore joke.
Yeah.
But Mohit, just go talk to me about Mumbai Indians and why they are already looking as one of the greatest T20 teams ever.
Yeah, I think the Mumbai template is actually very similar to the team that Harmanpreet Kaur used to lead in the women's T20 challenge. She won that tournament as well in 3 of the 4 years that it was held. And that team, like especially the one that won last year, was very close to the ideal T20 team. And with this Mumbai team, they are only going to get better because in this team, they have a lot of young players, like we were talking about, who are still nowhere close to their best, like be it Izzy Wong or even somebody like Pooja Vastrakar or Jintimani Kalita or even Amanjot Kaur and Humaira Kazi. So the scary thing for opposition is that this team's only going to get better. And when you look at their top players as well, apart from Harmanpreet Kaur, who's probably closer to the end of her career, Amelia Kerr still only 22, Haley Matthews is 24, Nat Silverbrand's also very young. So all these three players would be around for at least a decade. Not Nat Silverbrand, but Amelia Kerr and Haley Matthews would be around for at least a decade more. And Nat Silverbrand would also be around for at least 5 more years. And I don't see Mumbai like letting go of any of these three players. And like just to add to what Akash was saying, these three players are also probably the best T20 all rounders in the world currently. And if you compare it to somebody like, say, RCB, they have players who were the best T20 all rounders in the world, but a decade ago. Elise Perry no longer bowls a lot. Sophie Devine no longer bowls a lot. So Mumbai also have the best all-rounders. And if you compare them to say a team like Gujarat Giants, Annabelle Sutherland and Georgia Wareham are good players, but they are not anywhere close to being the best all-rounders in the world. So I think just the all-round strength and the players currently being in the best form that they've been in their lives has also helped Mumbai a lot, because there are areas that you can target in this team currently, but teams just haven't been able to reach those areas because the top four have been so good for Mumbai.
Absolutely. I mean, I take those points with a pinch of salt, especially the Bangalore ones, because you said it in like, not even a malicious way. You were just putting your points across and you just
Very serious ways.
Yeah, it went under the radar, but yeah, points taken on board. And Mumbai, by the way, they're honestly just going from strength to strength. And there's another misfield there. It really sums up the day that the UP women have had out there. It's a tough one to take because they were in a position of command, some would say, when Talia McGrath and Alisa Healy were going about their business. But then Sekai Sharksova took the game and really swung the pendulum in Mumbai's favour. Now they're 11 away. And Harmanpreet, 50, she got a little bit of bat on that. It could be 5 wides,
5 wides.
Sophie Eccleston knows it. I mean, it's a rare day for her because not often does she go for like 30 in her quota of overs. We were mentioning that earlier. And she's got 4. So there's a little tickle off her bat.
50.
She'll take it. And her second 50 of her WPL career. Remember the first one coming in that first game with 30 ball 65. But she's played some sublime shots today, Akash.
Yeah, just when we
is this a good thing for India? Because normally she bats with like Jemmy and Yastika and Hurley.
No, I mean,
now she's much more free.
I don't think that's a comparison. This thing,
No?
because she still bats excellently well for India. It's just the lower order. I mean, look at. No, I'm not saying it as a joke. Even look at the lower order, right?
Yeah.
Look at somebody like Deepti Sharma, who at this age and with so much experience that she's had, she actually should know how to finish off games and play according to situations.
Yeah.
That's something that she's not done during the World Cup. She's not done it even in this tournament.
Yeah.
There have been games when UP are desperately crying for her to do something, but she's not. I mean, she's ended up not bowling substantial overs or bowling crucial overs or picking up crucial wickets. And with the bat as well, she's not answered the call. So that's where I think that the difference is there. But in the Mumbai setup, she knows she can be comfortable and she can play that because there are match winners at the other end. It's not like you have to depend on somebody like Deepti Sharma, who's highly inconsistent at this point. That's something that she would definitely, be thinking about But yeah, that's what I feel about the difference.
And Harman, like Akash is saying, is agreed by Chant in the comments, clearly saying leads from the front, contributes from the field as well as the bat. She's been in super form since the Australia semi-final match. Yeah, and hoping that this tournament just kind of gives those Indian players extra confidence. Not like they need it. Some would say that they need it, but just generally, right? Harman, we're seeing her thrive in the international arena, but even so, now with high pressure games around the corner, she can really improve her performance. Ismail to, of course, come and maybe get a couple of consolation wickets if there was something to pull back. What will UP do in terms of their changes, guys? Because I know Grace Harris, she'll come back from sickness and all of that. Any other changes you guys see in terms of Indian personnel, Mohit? Next?
Wow.
Yeah, I'd like to see UP play Parshavi Chopra. She's a very good leg spinner. She was very key to India winning the Under 19 World Cup. At least in my opinion, she was like their best player at that tournament. And for somebody who's still only 16, she has excellent control, great variety. So I think UP should play her instead of Devika Vaidya because Devika Vaidya is not bowling. She's not done a lot with the bat other than in the last match where Alisa Healy did the heavy lifting. And if
I
Devika
would have
Vaidya is
done
not,
Danu also.
yeah, and if Devika Vaidya is not bowling, you shouldn't be playing her just
Oh,
because you've paid 1.4 crore for her at the auction. So I think they should get Parshavi Chopra in because she's a genuine wicket taking option. And the other thing that they should do is probably open with Kiran Navgire and also like bat Sophie Eccleston and Grace Harris at number 5 and 6. Harris at 5 and Sophie at 6, I'd say, because that would just make their batting aggressive from number 1 to 6, and then they can have Deepthi Sharma even at number 8. She doesn't even need to finish games. She can play primarily as a bowler. If there is a collapse and if they are 20 for 2 or 20 for 3, that is when Deepthi can be pushed up. But otherwise, they don't need to like even bat Deepthi in the top 7 because they have like 4 high quality overseas batters who can do that job.
so you're saying that curtain for Shweta Sharawat because clearly then she would not have a role in this team. Either way, she doesn't have a role right now, but then she would be even more non-existent.
Yeah, like I would have wanted
One second,
them
sorry to
to.
cut you off
Oh,
because
it's a six.
honestly, Nat Silverbrand wanted a 6 in that free hit, but she's got a 6 right now to wrap up the game for Mumbai, who've just been absolutely brilliant in this run chase. They were 58 for 2, but that's 164 for 2 now, a 100 plus run stand, and Mumbai winning 4 games in the first ever women's T20 league in terms of the Indian T20 league, that is the women's Premier League. Now, guys, I mean, we're seeing the inevitable champion, some would say. Sorry to cut you off, both, because you're mentioning some good points about UP and the changes, and only time will tell what they will go about it. But words and reactions straight away, is it daunting for the rest of the tournament? Is this a statement laid down by Harman, Natsiva and company?
The statement's already out there. I just feel it's an extra, and I can only tell that I can tell you one word: revenge. And Harmanpreet has finally served it, and she's like, "Talk now."
I mean, yeah, if you guys know, you know. What do you have to say next? Because look, Alisa Healy winning the toss, batting first. They were in a good position, but then they threw it away. But Mumbai, too good for them, you reckon?
Yeah, I think they were always too strong, and you knew you needed a bigger score. We touched upon it right at start. I think it wasn't too many. You did not need too many here. Like Mohit as well pointed out, they were always within that range that a couple of wickets and this could have gotten really close. So I think they missed that 20-run cushion, and of course I felt the usage of bowling could have been far more different. But I think it also tells you one of the chinks in UP's armor about their batting, that they are heavily reliant on that overseas batters to get them to a score. They have to find a way to use Shehrawat better. Again, Kiran Navgire's that hoik of Amelia Kerr. Again, it's inexperience, but you had Healy at the other end, maybe to be even more. Sometimes you need that school spoon feeding kind of stuff. That okay, we've got the 2 boundaries for the over. Hold on, there is no need to go for the third, or just take that extra risk. If you feel it's there, then you go for it. So I think it's those small things that I'm sure they'll get better at. With the usage, I don't think they would have done more or something else with what they had today. I think they really missed the finishing touches of Grace Harris. That Saika Ishak over, I feel, is the difference today between the two sides. Had even one of the set batters batted through, they probably would have had the cushion score. And as Mohit said, they did push this Mumbai side, but they are this strong. And not to forget, they had a couple of luck. I mean, Harmanpreet was bold. You had a drop catch as well. So you need those kind of things to go your way when you have to beat a champion side. So lots of lessons for UP. But of course, all is not lost. They can definitely do much better.
I mean, some valid points like always from Knicks. And Mohit, biggest takeaway if you're in the UP dugout right now, what is the biggest thing that you're thinking about going back to the hotel room tonight?
I think just hold on to your catches probably because they've not been great in the field right through this tournament, be it ground fielding or catching. And that just like eases the pressure. And against a top team in the T20 format, that makes a big difference. So I think that is like one area where UP really need to be a lot better because like that's again something where Mumbai have been the best. They've been excellent at ground fielding, and other than that one match where Haley Matthews dropped a couple of catches, I don't remember them dropping any catches at all in the 4 matches that they've played. So I think like Nick's rightly pointed out, they need to get better at using their Indian batters, find better roles for them, and also be better in the field. So I think these would be the two top takeaways. Like, just empower the Indian batters, give them clearly defined roles, and like hold on to your catches.
Yeah, okay. Lovely from Mohit, lovely from Knicks and Akash. We don't know the player of the match, but early guesses. Saika Ishak again?
Yeah, I think the bowling made a huge difference.
There were lots of pluses for Mumbai tonight. The bowling, like Akash said, and the boys touched upon Yasika 46 again. And we will be doing a watch along. I don't know about that, Pranav. We will, of course, review it all in the BGT at 5 p.m. tomorrow. So join us then and have a great week ahead. It's yet another Super Sunday. We saw lots of things come to the fore. Virat Kohli 75th international ton. We saw, of course, Mumbai make it 4-4. And there'll be plenty of other great cricketing moments, I'm sure. Let us know in the comments below how much you guys enjoyed this watch along. I'm Abhi Shaikde. Definitely need to get the hell out of here. I don't know why we work so late on Sundays. I mean, it's a joke at times. So, if you're watching, you better make up for this. Honestly, it's a joke. Boy, thank you so much for your time. Lovely having you. And, of course, Crick Crazy Nick's back on the watch along scene as ever. And Akash as well for making a late substitute, but a really, really good substitute of that. Subscribe right now. Tell a friend. Cricket.com is here to stay. Until the next time, so goodbye from me. We'll see you soon. Happy Monday, guys, because it's going to be a good one. Like unbelievable.